Hello everyone, welcome to another week in our garden. It's been a wonderful week. We've had lots of rain and lots of sunshine, really good growing and summer weather for us. But it has been a bit of catastrophe in the greenhouse. One of the cucumbers had cropped rather heavy and it had pulled the whole plant down and snapped all the ties, so I'll show you in a moment. I've tied them up. There's no real damage to the plant. The stem wasn't snapped, so they'll be all right. They'll continue fruiting. So I'll show you the culprits first, and then we'll show you the plant. These are the culprits that brought down my cucumber. They're all hung halfway up in a group, and they got just a bit too heavy and they pulled the plant down. This is the plant that got pulled down. I've had to retie it all up again. I can't see any breaks in or bends in the stem. I lost quite a few leaves, and I've noticed since that one or two of the cucumbers turned brown, but these are green, so they might be alright. It'll start producing again. I have stopped it just to stop it from growing on and losing the bottom. I think she'll be alright, so we'll give her some extra water and she'll be alright, a bit of extra feed. Now today I need to pick these tomatoes. So now this is the first harvest of our tomatoes. I have pinched one or two and eaten them. They're rather nice. So we'll see what we get. Now picking the tomatoes is quite easy. If you take the tomato and just, you can see that little joint there, if you just press on that and turn away, it's lovely to harvest a tomato with a bit of green top on it. And there you are, there's a few tomatoes from the first harvest. Very, very sweet. The smaller ones are the sweet ones. I prefer the big old-fashioned ones that still taste of tomatoes. We'll now go down the garden because there's quite a bit of harvesting to do this week. Right, we're down at the bottom of the garden. We're going to start and do the final harvest of the rhubarb. After this harvest I will put a good mulch around it and settle it down and let it rest till next year. There's an awful lot still on it, but we need to leave some to rest the root now. So I'll get the rhubarb picked the same as before, and then we'll show you how much we're going to take. What we take today will obviously go for freezing for the winter. That's the rhubarb now pulled for this year. I won't pull any more. I'll give it a good top dressing of some good manure and then let it rest for the season. Just remember, when you are putting the muck etc. on, don't cover the crowns up, leave the crowns so they can grow through. If you cover the crowns up with too much manure, they just rot off. Now while we're down here, we'll dig a root or two of potatoes up for the table this week, and then we'll move on to the courgettes. Here we are at the new potato rows. This one's international kidney and the one in the centre's foremost. They haven't been cropping awfully well because of this dry weather, but we've had some rain, so hopefully we should get a few more off them now. There's actually enough here left still to take us through to the main crop coming up, so we're fine. They're the Sapo Myra ones that are allegedly blight resistant. They're a red second early potato, so we've got these, then those, and then that should take us through to the main crop. Plenty of good top on them, and let's see what's underneath. Potato lifting fork, just gently take them out. Yeah, there's a few on them, as you can see. I'll just take these off. Now, There's the old seed potato there, not quite rotted, but remember, don't pick that up. And these small ones, but I send these for burning anyway. I don't compost the haulms, I put them for burning, so I'll move those with those little ones on, ready for the fire. And you can see it's good earth. All that rain hasn't broken it at all. Let's see what we've got. Not a lot, but very, very tasty. Right, there's a couple more here. I've marked one or two with the fork, but they'll be fine. That's not bad. But you can see how hard and heavy the land is. It's not moved. I'll just go again, see if there's any underneath. I don't think there will be now. No. Oh, there was one, look. I'll try and break the soil as best I can while I'm doing it, because if it dries out, it will never break it down. Oh, that's hard stuff. Let's take another one out the centre row, which was foremost. See how they're performing. That's here, look. Let's have a look. There's one already jumping out there, look. Oh. A little bit bigger, but they're fine. I'll keep the soil. I say tops for burning, and we'll put them there. Leave the dirt on the garden, and I don't want to part with that. But that's not too bad. Again, very heavy. I'll just turn a little bit more around. You see the seed potatoes completely rotted on those. I'll just turn a little bit more, see if I find any more. So there you go. Not a great lot, but I can assure you the taste is absolutely beautiful. Right, we're at the courgette bed now. As usual, every other day there'll be courgettes ready to cut, so we'll get these cut. Just carefully with the knife so you don't cut anything else off it. And I'll just pop the flower off, look. You can leave the flower on if you wish. And I'll get these and show you what I get. I've got about 4 I think today. 2 more down here and that'll be it for today. There's one. And one more. And that's 2. Now I've got one down here that I'll cut off and show you. I've just cut this one off as well to show you. If you're getting these yellow ends, if you just squeeze them, they're very, very soft. It's actually rotting up from that end. It's probably been in and got damaged and got some rot in it. They're only good for the compost heap. We'll take our 5 and add them to our wheelbarrow as we go. Now we're going to pick a few peas and some lettuce, and if Diane just spins round carefully and just shows you how the squashes and the pumpkins are getting on behind us. They've all been tied up this morning, so they're looking good. There's 4 nice lettuce there, grown outdoors. A little bit of hole in them now on the outer leaves, but the inner leaves are fine. Not all for us, but we will take them anyway. If you leave them much longer, these are ones that are crowning up now will blow. I'm just going to go down the pea row and take the peas that are ready. As you can see, they're well on now. Do excuse my dirty hands. Well on now, and they rattle, so they're ready. I usually pop down every 2, maybe 3 days and take a picking off. As I say, the aldermen, they should be up here, but we'll pick them at that. And the ones I put in directly after we harvested this crop along here, peas, are actually just started to peep now through the top of the soil. That's a few peas ready for podding and freezing. Lettuce are looking good. These are the French beans. They're beginning to show well now. Plenty of flowers and plenty of fruit, especially at the bottom. I don't know if you can see here. Plenty down there, look. It's full at the bottom. That's good. Hopefully we should get a good crop off the beans. They're the French beans. Very good. So we'll move along now to the beetroot and see how that's coming along. While we're passing, you can see the onion beds doing rather well, swelling up nicely now. There's a few in the middle that haven't done very well, but we'll grub those out and concentrate on the bigger ones. They're sat now maturing in the sun and swelling those bulbs up nicely. A little bit of trouble with the pigeons keep landing and taking off in them, but they'll be fine. Some huge onions over this side. They'll make us some good onion strings. Some of them, some of the strings are going to be quite heavy this year. They're doing fine, no problem. Beetroot's doing rather well, as you can see. I'm going to lift about 5 for bottling and using as we go. I had a little bit of space here, so I dropped some radishes in. They're just about ready for picking now. We won't pick those today, we're a bit limited on time, but they're about ready, so we'll lift those tomorrow. I'll take these out. And when you're lifting your beetroot, try and get them out without damaging the bulb or the bottom. That's very nice, that is. And I'll show you how to take the tops off in a moment. I'll just get them out. There you are, look. Very nice, those. That's it. We don't really want to damage them anywhere. If you damage them, they'll bleed, so you have to be a bit careful. Now the other 2 I want are at the far end, so I'm going to have to step in. There you are. That's nearly on the too big side, but we'll be all right. And there we go again. They're ideal. The others are doing very, very well. We'll lift those as we can cope with getting them done, and then we'll bottle them all up, ready for winter. They are bolt hardy. I see there's one running to seed over there. That'll have to be removed, but the rest are fine. Now, with the beetroot, I put my hand just above, grab hold of the other end, just twist off. That's all you do. And then the rest, if you take them off here, they'll bleed and they'll be no good for bottling at all or cooking. So I'll do those. These I will pick up good compost heap. I'll just quickly do the other ones for you. On there, look. Twist. And I'll put that on there for safety. Again. On, twist, all of them though, not a few. There you are, some excellent beetroot. Excellent beetroot. And a very good weight. Diane will probably cook and bottle these. While we're at the celery, we'll just have a quick look, see how it's getting on. I think it might need another week or so yet, but we'll have a look. As you can see, it looks good, but we need a little longer, I think, a little bit more bulk on those, and then we can start lifting them. We could lift them now, it's just not quite right. The celeriac is just beginning to bulk its bottoms up now, so that's fine. We'll leave those as well. There's none run to seed at this end, some at the top run to seed, but not these. I'm just pulling a few carrots out of the frame to take up. You see some haven't made it, but most have. They're good, they taste absolutely fantastic. Just another handful. There you go. As you can see, some are a bit small, but they're absolutely as clean as you'd want. There's a few spring onions there out of the frame as well. So now we'll move across to the Brassica tunnels and have a look what we can get out of there. I'm going to start and lift some of the broccoli. Now some of it is beginning to go into flower a little bit, perfectly alright, so we'll harvest anyway and show you what we get. There you go, there's one. A little bit of flower open, but that's fine. We've got a fair stem of them. That's it. That's another one, as you can see. Absolutely beautiful. Now with a nice red cabbage here, I don't know if you can see it. Very, very firm, beautiful cabbage. I'm going to remove that and we're going to use that for some of the coleslaws as well. To be absolutely beautiful, that will. I don't know if you can see while we've got the mesh off the tunnel. As you can see, everything's beautiful and clean, no holes in it. I do insist, so once I've harvested, that I go inside and clean all the dead leaves up and anything that the slugs can get to, and keep them nice and clean. That's a Brussels sprout, and it's doing as we release the space, so it'll fill out even more. But it is beginning to form the Brussels now. So right, we'll take this red cabbage. It's a beautiful specimen and of the right size. So we'll cut that off. As you can see, the foliage, look at that, superb. And there's the nice cabbage in the centre. I have a nice cauliflower here that we'll lift, and also there's a kohlrabi down here, so we'll lift these two as well. There you go, that's a nice cauliflower. Just put the knife down. There you go, look. Absolutely superb. And if you look round, because of the mesh in the tunnel, it's absolutely as clean as a whistle. Beautiful plant, that. You know it's going to be good when it looks that good as it comes out the ground. That's that up. And there you are, and there's a kohlrabi. I don't want to get it dirty if I can help it. I just cut that root off. That's it. Just scrape that with the back of the knife. And that's just about the right size. It's got a bit of damaged leaf there. Look, we'll take that off. There you go. Absolutely superb. Best size you can get. Any bigger than that and they're getting a bit strong. The marigolds are doing rather well in here as well, but we won't eat those. Here are beautiful cabbage. You can see how beautiful and clean these nets are keeping these cabbages. All the brassicas are beautiful and clean. Wonderful. We'll get this dressed down and get it on the wheelbarrow. I'm picking in the beautiful afternoon sun now, it's lovely. I'm picking the gooseberries. I'm picking the red ones first and then I'll pick the green ones. I've picked this smaller bush and now we'll pick this other one. Now that's all I got off the smaller bush. But if you think that the smaller bush is not very old, and that's a good crop. So we'll get this one picked now, and no doubt there'll be double that to come. I'll just show you how I pick them first. Now the gooseberries are absolutely covered in the most vicious spines, so if you haven't got gardener's hands, shall we say, get some gloves on because they really are sharp. And what I do, I lift the branch and work from the top down, and then I just work my way along, carefully just taking the berries off until I get a handful. With the red berries, the more red they are, the sweeter they are. So that's that nearly done. Let me just take that one as well. And that's how I pick them and then drop them in. It's quite laborious and it is very, very prickly. I'll pick this bush, and now we've picked the red gooseberries, we'll start and pick the green. It's the same way. As you can see, the branches are absolutely loaded. You have to be careful that you don't break the branch while we're lifting to pick. But as you can see, the beautiful berries, and just as thorny as the red, so you're going to get prickled one way or the other doing them, but beautiful berries. And we'll work our way along the branches until we've got them all picked, and then we'll show you them picked. I do believe it's late evening now, and I do believe it's going to rain, so pick the rest of these black currants and we'll show you tomorrow the crop that we've picked. This is what I got so far, and there's still, as you can see, quite a few on this bush to go yet. So I'll pick these and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? We've brought the harvest up to show you what we've harvested today. As you can see, there's the final pick of the rhubarb. We won't touch that again, that'll go to freezing. Then you've got the cabbages. That's a green cabbage and a red cabbage. Probably go for coleslaw. Green cabbage could go for dinners, depends on the weather. There's a small kohlrabi in there, very nice. That'll also go with the coleslaw as well. Some of the new potatoes, and picking the peas now. We pick every second day and we're getting a constant supply. The carrots, they're beginning to come now. These are the early carrots. These will keep us going now until the main crop comes in. Always courgettes. I see there's some more, there'll be some more ready tomorrow. Nice cauliflower. Some wonderful broccoli, my favourite vegetable. Always tastes nice. 3 lettuce, a couple of little gem. The first pick of the tomatoes, I don't know if you can see them in there. A few beetroot that we're going to cook and bottle and use for salads to start the season going. The monster cucumbers that broke my plant, they're there, and a little handful of pulling onions. This is the fruit that we picked yesterday as well. You can see there's quite a few green gooseberries there and some reds. The reds are slightly sweeter than the green, but I find this year they're both about the same. They're both very, very nice. And of course the black currants, a good bowl full there. That was just 3 bushes, so they've done very, very well this year. Good size to the berry as well. Hello everyone, Friday today. Bit dull and windy today, but it's going to be a nice day. Hopefully we get some rain. People think I'm crazy about rain, but I just, so much hard work having to water by hand. It's lovely to have some rain. I've lifted the garlic. I will grow it again. I was a bit wondering whether to grow it again on this heavy land, but they've made nice bulbs, so I'll grow them again, I think. As you can see, not the greatest garlic in the world, but I can assure you it'll be fine. All it's had is sunshine and rain. The elephant garlic, not too pleased with it. It doesn't like my land, so we won't grow that, but these are fine. I have graded them and I'm letting them dry. Now when they've dried out, I shall make them into plats like this. Now if you want to know how you make these, let me know and I'll put some on for you and show you how to put them together. It's raffia and grated garlic up. This will hang better in the house or in the store cupboard than if we make them into like we do the onions. There'll be too many to hang up, but that's just a nice thing to hang in your cupboard until you want to use them. Now do let me know if you want to know how to make these and I'll put one together with you. These are the last of the overwintered Japanese onions. Now I did say to my Curtis that I wasn't going to grow these red ones no more because they're not very good, but they actually, we've given a lot away and all the feedback has been that the red ones are a beautiful tasting onion. It's a nice mild sweet onion, so it looks like, Mike, we're going to grow that one again. Probably put it under one of those mesh tunnels just to give it a little bit of protection, and I think it'll come on a bit better. Right, so that'll be about it for this week. We've had a busy harvest this week. I think we can call it this week the Bountiful harvest. Now remember, although we've harvested some, there's a lot more still waiting to come through, so keep an eye on us. We'll be bringing a lot more up the garden this week. Now next week we've got some conifers that want pruning. We've got some, now we've picked the fruit, we need to prune the fruit trees and get them all ready for next year's crop. It's important to get ready for next year's now we've got this year's off. We'll give them a good mulch as well, I think. So that'll be it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. My hands are like pin cushions after harvesting all those gooseberries, but I hope you've enjoyed it, as I said, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye now.